ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම අපි කාරණයක් මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. ආර්ථික අහිමිය ගැන කතා කරද්දී 2020 ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම එවලේ කොවිඩ් නවත්තන්නට ක්‍රියා කරා නම් මෙතරම් ප්‍රශ්න අද අපිට මුහුණ දෙන්න සිදු වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said, under proposed constitutional reforms, the president's powers would be clipped and those of parliament strengthened. In a televised statement, he said that governance would be broad-based through parliamentary committees where politicians, youth and experts work together. The youth are calling for a change in the existing system. They also want to know the current issues. Therefore, I propose to appoint 4 youth representatives to each of these 15 committees, Wickremesinghe said. The methodology used to choose these individuals can be decided by the youth organizations themselves, he said. So far, there have been no immediate comments from the demonstrating youth groups. They are demanding the resignation of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, holding him and his family responsible for the country's worst economic crisis. It has already defaulted on its foreign loans and is battling acute shortages of essential goods like cooking gas, fuel and medicines. People have been forced to wait for hours in long queues to buy goods, and many still go empty-handed. The country's foreign currency reserves have dwindled to just enough to purchase 2 weeks of needed imports. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said his government was working on amending the constitution to make the president and cabinet accountable to parliament. According to the new system we have proposed, the president will be held accountable to the parliament. In a televised address to the nation, the cabinet of ministers is also accountable to parliament, Wickremesinghe said. Duminder Silva was arrested. Former parliamentarian Duminder Silva, the chairman of the National Housing Development Authority, was arrested by the CID. The arrest was made at the Sri Lanka hospital. A senior official of the CID stated that they would take up the matter with the Supreme Court. The president has pardoned Duminder Silva following the death sentence imposed for killing Bharata Lakshman Premachandra. Hirunika Premachandra, the daughter of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra Maha, her mother, and a former commissioner of the Human Rights Commission, Attorney-at-Law Ghazali Hussain, have filed a fundamental rights case in the Supreme Court challenging the president's pardon. Elam People's Democratic Party, EPDP, has decided to support PM Ranil Wickremesinghe. The party leader MP Douglas Devanda has taken this decision after discussing it with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Modi decides to give fertilizer to Sri Lanka. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has agreed to expedite the provision of fertilizer for the Yala season, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said. The fertilizer is being supplied with Indian loan assistance and is scheduled to be distributed within 20 days of receiving it in Sri Lanka. The president made these observations at a discussion held at the president's house.
Liquid nano-nitrogen fertilizer reached the Bandar Naik International Airport at 12:30 a.m. It was dispatched from the Hyderabad International Airport. The Agriculture Department has placed an order for 3.1 million litres of nano-nitrogen urea fertilizer. This would be used to cultivate 800,000 hectares of land for the Maha cultivation season. Officials attached to the Ministry of Agriculture were at the airport to accept the stock.
Earlier, we applied nitrogen to the soil to obtain nitrate and ammonium. What is obtained from roots will be given through these leaves. When we use the liquid, it will reach the soil through the leaves. The nitrogen required to produce food can be obtained through this.
Legal background for a president's removal. Some are questioning whether the vacancy of the executive presidency in Sri Lanka can be achieved by widespread opposition. The lawyers point out that the Constitution has constitutionally accepted the people's sovereignty as the highest law of the country. Accordingly, no matter who acts in any way, the vacancy of the office of president should take place only under the provisions of the Constitution. Accordingly, according to the latest amendment to the Constitution of Sri Lanka, the 20th Amendment to the Constitution, there are several instances where the office of the president becomes vacant. That is when the president dies, when the president resigns with a letter signed by the speaker, when the president ceases to be a citizen of Sri Lanka, when the person elected by the president fails to begin his term of office within 1 month, when the president was removed from the presidency, and if the Supreme Court challenged the futility of electing the president. Suppose the office of the president becomes vacant before the expiration of the term of office of the president. In that case, one member of parliament is eligible to be elected to the office of president. He is said to be the successor president. This president, who parliament elects, can hold office only for the remaining term of office. According to Article 41b of the Constitution, the election of the President shall take place as soon as possible after the date of the vacancy. It is not possible to wait a month for that. Also, the President must be legally elected by secret ballot. However, after the emptiness, the Prime Minister will be responsible for the presidency during interim period before the successor President is sworn in. He should appoint another minister in the cabinet to act as the Prime Minister. According to the 20 of the Constitution, this responsibility is not vested in the Prime Minister, who has held office twice. Article 40 provides that the Speaker shall exercise the office powers and functions until the President swears in the successor. If an impeachment motion is brought against the President, it will take some time. It consists of a lengthy process of proposing, passing a resolution, signing not less than 2/3 of the members of the Parliament, notifying, hearing the case in the Supreme Court, and returning to Parliament. During his time, such an impeachment motion was brought against President R. Premadasa, but it took a long time. Accordingly, the presidency can be vacated only if the President resigns at will, Article 38(1)(a), or through a no-confidence motion in Parliament, Article 41. Lankan Press and PM opened avenues for youth involvement in decision-making. As a result of the 50-day Gotha Go Home campaign demanding the ouster of the Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and the exit of the Rajapaksa clan from the government, the President as well as his new Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe have woken up to the need to consult the formally take on board representatives of the youth in governmental decision making. President Gotabaya did not quit office as demanded by the demonstrating youth, but all other members of the Rajapaksa clan went out of office. His elder brother and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa was replaced by Ranil Wickremesinghe from the opposition United National Party. But he even stubbornly stuck to his office, saying that he still had the people's mandate that he received in the 2019 presidential election. Gotabaya Rajapaksa realized that he could not entirely ignore the anger of the youth. Therefore, he is now trying to appease them by involving them in decision making. On Tuesday, the president met professionals and a section of the youth who were part of the agitation in front of his office day in and day out for more than a month. In a press release after the meeting, his office said that he got concise proposals from the youngsters to solve current political and economic problems.
It is opposite the Presidential Secretariat, Rafiya Gada.
Even though I earn, it's not enough in Sri Lanka now. People are going through misery and most of the people are suffering in Sri Lanka. So if we don't get in the street, we can't do anything. It's our own money. We have to stand and we have to fight for it now. It's our time for now.
The Confederation of Professionals for the National Policy, CPNP, a group of professionals and youth involved in the Aragalaya singular term for struggle, presented to the President a concise set of proposals outlining actions that should be taken to resolve the current political and economic situation. The discussions focused on short, medium and long-term measures that should be taken to address the current political, social and economic crisis. The adoption of a new people's-friendly constitution was also discussed. Subsequently, the release said it followed to hold the following discussions within the next few days. President Gotabaya said that several groups representing experts in various fields are ready to build the country and added that he is prepared to provide the necessary powers and the resources to implement the positive plans of these groups. Taxes on several imported foods to go up from today. Special excise duty on several items has been increased from today. The Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has announced that the new taxes rate will be effective 6 months. Accordingly, the special commodity levy on imported yogurt, butter, cheese, grapes, apples, oranges and many other imported food items has been significantly increased. For example, yogurt is rupees 2000, oranges rupees 600, apples rupees 600. Liquor prices go up. Liquor companies have decided to increase the prices of all liquor. The companies say the decision was made because of rising VAT and production costs. Litro gas distribution plan started. Litro has released the island-wide distribution plan of domestic LP gas cylinders from the 1st of June. Sri Lanka seeking $3 billion under IMF Extended Fund Facility. Comprehensive package. Sri Lanka is in talks with the International Monetary Fund to borrow at least $3 billion via Lenders Extended Fund Facility EFF, sources familiar with the matter told Reuters. According to the IMF's website, an EFF program, which would be the 17th IMF plan for the nation, requires countries to make structural economic reforms to correct the deep-rooted weaknesses, according to the IMF website. These programs typically last 3 years with a grace of 4.5 years to start paying back the loan once a plan is approved. 19A to be reenacted as 21A. Party leaders met with the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe to discuss the draft of the 21st Amendment on Friday. The party leaders agreed that reenactment of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution in the form of the 21st Amendment would be the first step and abolition of executive presidency would be the next, Prime Minister's Media Division announced on Friday. The party leaders will further discuss whether the President can retain the defense portfolio. Hope this video talk on the current situation in Sri Lanka was useful. Stay safe until we meet again. and goodbye for now.